Comedy Jonah.
Hi, how's it going?
It would be going so much better if our jackets appeared the way they do in person.
Mine's a
You can,
shirt and it is so sparkly. Like it's now sparkly all over my desk, but
I mean,
it's not translating at all.
yeah, it like does not. So now you know why that shirt was $1,000. I can't tell you how much I made this glitter. It looks amazing in person. Look
Mine
at
just
that.
can you see mine a little? I took a picture.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta say, I feel like my shirt looks better on me. Yeah, I feel like a real cowboy.
well, mine's not Western, so mine is, it goes across all styles. So mine's a little more versatile than yours. So it's okay.
Mine looks better. I wish I had my cowboy hat if I would have thought about it. Yeah,
I don't
I would have
know.
put my.
So yeah, mine father invented denim shirts, so it's fine.
Well, really? Then you think you would have been able to afford the real one? Yeah.
It's real, so he makes it all by hand.
Does he really by hand? Yeah.
Hmm. Have you seen
Um.
Penelope on SNL? So,
So yeah, I know. I
so
love it. I love this shirt. I almost wish I didn't glitter it because I would have liked to have worn it
just,
other places.
just wash it, right?
No, I did mine with fabric glitter. It says this is supposed to not come off.
Oh, I did mine with wig glitter, and it can come off.
Yeah, mine surprisingly is not coming off, and I'm sitting in a black chair. I thought there would be glitter everywhere.
Oh no, I only did the front and the arms. The back isn't even glittered, and I used the entire can and did it over 2 days and let it dry. And you still can't see it on camera. I'm so angry.
I was holding it up for everyone like the days that I was doing
Yeah.
it, and I knew that it wasn't gonna show on camera unless you have like, you know what I bet would be really good for it if we went on Instagram and we did the like that sparkle filter. I bet the sparkle filter on
Well, I mean,
Instagram
we
would.
completely sparkle us. We wouldn't even had to have to even spray paint them.
Yeah, we could have just had it do it. No, it doesn't look like it. I thought it would, but it doesn't. I
Well,
thought it would. It
at
doesn't.
least my drink translates, because Mama needs her medicine for this show, as Carson would say.
Mama needs her medicine. To talk about the Big Brother finale, which is why we're all here. No one cares probably about our sparkle shirts. I just really like mine. I just really like it.
I just like it when you get something new.
Imagine if I would have shaved for this. Been a little busy.
Just a little.
Just busy bathing my mother, trying to make a glitter sparkle shirt and explain it to her.
Well,
Let me tell you.
you could have gotten a razor in that bathtub and did a little quickie.
Well, let me tell you something. You know who's not a fan of Carson? Probably the only person. My mother. You know what my 85-year-old dementia mother calls Carson? A
What?
sissy. She calls him a sissy. She says he has that sissy look. And I said, "Oh, really, mother? What kind of look do I have?" And
Like
she's like, "You
big
you
mouth
have the
sissy.
yeah." She's like, "You have the look. You have the whatever of my beautiful son." And I was like, "We don't judge
Oh.
people, mother."
What does your mom think of me? Am I a sissy to her?
Well, she calls you a big fat homo, but that's
A
different.
big fat homo. That's awesome.
No, I told you the only thing my mother said about you is she said, "Oh, that person you did do the show with? Yeah, why is he on the intro longer than you?"
That's right.
That's all she says. To be fair, well, I won't even say it. It's too gross. Just trust me. She's crazy. I hope if Carson ever watches this, he knows that my mother is dear, sweet, adorable, and
Well, I don't know
battling
if Carson.
dementia.
I don't know if Carson would disagree all that much. I mean, it's not like he's promoting this kind of butch gay. So
That's
yeah,
okay. We don't have to label gay people. They're all different kinds.
no, we're in a culture where we don't label anymore,
Yeah.
right?
No, there are some people that just look better in a denim shirt than others. We're not going to call their shirts not as good looking. We're just going to call them different.
I'm going to tweet mine out and we'll see how good you look because I look pretty great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do it after the show because
Hmm.
we don't need more drama on this show.
Oh,
There's,
Carl.
before we get to what we thought of the finale, there's been a lot of post-season drama. Have you heard about Shayna?
I've listened to Shayna's interview with like Us Weekly and Todd and Lamar, and I've seen, that Toddrick canceled his interviews, and now he's back on social media posting about, what's going on in the Ukraine, and then his tour dates. So I'm like, what? But hasn't
Um,
addressed any of the
yeah, he's not
backlash he's
gonna.
gotten. Yeah.
So yeah, he's refused to do the postseason press, so there's that. Secondly, Shayna's boyfriend was arrested for domestic abuse on Shayna on finale night.
What? Oh
Yep.
my gosh, that's awful.
Well, ex-boyfriend.
Well, I hope so.
I mean, they were exes before, but I mean, you can see there's like a video on TMZ where like he's going crazy. He's not with her on it, but he's
Right.
like going crazy like that bitch, she slept at the neighbor's house, blah 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 blah, like all this stuff.
Well, there was
And that
gossip while she was in the house that he was going to propose to her or something. I had
that
heard,
wasn't
and then
gossip, it happened.
it happened, and then he all of a sudden I heard he flipped out, but I didn't see his video.
He flipped out. He was saying all this stuff like she slept at the neighbor's house. It's so embarrassing to me. He's like, yeah, he's like crazy on drugs. And then apparently later that night, he got arrested for domestic abuse
Yeah.
against Shayna with a $50,000 bail. He has since been released and is claiming he's innocent.
Well, it goes to show you that those guys, you only sleep with them. You don't have relationships with them.
Yeah, he's 29 years old. The only good
Yes.
20-year-olds are for is sex. Do not have a
Exactly.
relationship with a
No.
20-year-old. And if you are a 20-year-old, you shouldn't be in a relationship. It's the best years of your life. Have fun. You have your 30s to, start settling
Sleep
down.
with a
Enjoy your
lot of
20s.
sleep with a lot of people and figure out what your
Yes,
body likes. You got to figure out what your
right.
body likes because it's super important. I wish I had spent more time in my
Me
20s
too.
figuring out what my body likes
It's
than
all tight and right.
right.
Oh, you
Oh
don't got like
God.
weird moles.
Oh, your skin bounces back. I mean, it's
Oh.
just lovely.
There's no
Absolutely.
gravity. And by the way, and there's so many people. When I was in my 20s, I was like, oh God, I'm hideous. Oh, if you think you're hideous in your 20s, you're gonna really hate yourself in your 30s. And then in your 40s, it all drops and you eat
Wait till you get to
something and
your
you get fat.
50s. Wait till
So
you get to your 50s. No, it's funny. I was so insecure in my 20s too, and then I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh,
I was so
what's wrong
hot.
with
I
me?
agree.
I know, me too.
So just get over it, everybody.
Get over
Go
it.
and do everything that
No matter
moves.
what your body size is or whatever, who cares? Celebrate it. Get
Yeah.
to know it. I mean, come on. We got to do that. Absolutely. So yeah, that's horrible for Shayna. Shayna, please. Those guys are hot. I get it.
He's
But just
not hot. He's hideous. Like that's the whole thing. Shayna
what
is gorgeous,
I
and
know.
I
Well,
don't know
I
what
don't know
he.
what he looks like, but maybe that energy is hot. I don't know. Anyway, you sleep with them. You don't have relationships with them. Those anti-vaxxers, crazy, druggy, whatever they are, Trumpers, just you sleep with them and that's it. And then just go on
Yes,
with your day.
I
Yeah.
agree. Have make sure they use protection. Make sure you get tested for STDs. There is
And
no
COVID.
problem being a sexually active person as long as you are safe about it and
Yeah.
enjoy your 20s. Stay away from the crazies.
Enjoy your 20s discovering your body. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Heard it
You
here.
have permission in case no one's giving you permission.
You have permission.
You're welcome. And then if you're like really hot, my DMs are open.
Absolutely. Report back.
Report back. Okay. now.
Yeah, so
That finale.
I was really surprised, on that finale. God, Todd Bridges' face, right? I mean, can we get the eye rolls, turning the head, looking at Kirkpatrick? It was some of the best stuff I have seen in a long time. Like, I loved it. I was so upset when they were casting, like, they couldn't ask the jury questions, right? Like they normal in a normal season they could.
Yeah.
So when we didn't have that, that kind of upset me. But then when Teddy started it off with the Wizard of Oz, I was like, oh, I gotta get my medicine,
Yeah, but
Teddy.
like most people don't know that. Like you have to be a Todrick fan to know that he has like a Wizard of Oz room and he's
He
obsessed with
said
the
it
moon.
in the house, didn't he?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure
I
he
think he
did
did.
because
Yeah. I mean, how would she know? She doesn't follow Todrick. I had to like look up one of his videos just to see. Oh, he is a recording artist. But yeah,
I was trying so hard to troll Twitter. I literally wanted to put our interview with Todrick is now up and then put our last interview with Todrick. Just since he's done no interviews, that would get a lot of clicks.
wouldn't that be pulling a Todrick?
That would be pulling a Todrick.
We don't want to pull it.
Yeah, I gotta put yeah, so fine. So let's talk about the jury thing and then we'll go back. Yeah, I mean those people were vicious. I love Shayna's. The best part of this vote is that I'll never have to hear your voice again. And I was just
And then goes home and gets assaulted.
yeah, but not for nothing. Your vote doesn't make you not have to ever hear his voice again. Didn't make really sense. She could have been like, my vote is a giant FU to you. My vote is going to be for the person that wasn't a piece of shit. But like to say I'm never going to hear his voice again.
Well,
Yes, you will.
I think she meant, well, besides watching RuPaul's Drag Race, I've never heard his voice, but I think not having to watch the feeds anymore and hear his voice, right? Or looking at different things and live feed highlights and all of that stuff, I think that's how I took it at least.
She should have said, I'll never have to interact with you again. Like, the best part of this vote is I'll never have to interact with you again. It just seemed weird for her to be like, I'll never have to hear your voice. Yes, you will. Someone's going to send you a Big Brother clip. You're going to come back to host a competition. Like, yeah, you will. It just was a weird insult that didn't make sense to me.
I thought it made perfect sense, and I was laughing, and I was loving it.
Well, my mother loved it, too. My mother was, I mean, she started this season hating it. She was so excited by the time finale came around. She really wanted Cynthia to win. And I said, Mother, of all the things I know, let me tell you this. The competition, as I've already said, could have been who was on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Cynthia would still get it wrong and lose the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all got excited when she got that first one correct, but then...
But it just went downhill from there. And I'm not upset that Misha won. I think that she won a lot of stuff. I think she had the least amount of blood on her hands. I know I wasn't very happy with her sportsmanship, but when I had to look at it over Todrick, I mean, it's when I look at the whole thing, like any media outlets that I'm looking at is focusing on, and the thing, what he did with Sheena playing both sides. To me, that was fine. That's the gameplay, right? Like, if to try to save his second person, I had no problem with Todrick doing that. But it was the things he was saying about her that were kind of an issue. Other things he said was, he didn't really give a shit about his cameo recordings to fans, which it's like, who do you think you are? Or the fact that he even kind of joked a little bit about the not paying the dancers. Like, that's been kind of gossip and rumors, but I mean, it was he mentioned it. So it looks really, really bad. And I was just like thinking, did he forget cameras were on him? Did he meant it to be kind of that bitchy kind of gay humor, right? Like, and it just didn't translate well with anybody.
I mean, in all honesty, and look, I'm not here to defend Todrick. I'm not here. I honestly, though, I get what he's saying about the dancer thing. And don't get me wrong, he makes a ton of money on his YouTube videos. However, So he could give them something 1,000,000%. I kind of believe that. I feel like that is what happens in that industry. People are like, you come and do my show for exposure. I'm going to let you be a dancer. I mean, not for nothing, we get the Big Brother people on this show because they want to be part of the audience, despite the fact that they could probably be getting paid. It would be like them coming back and going, Eric didn't pay us to do our show and he made money on YouTube from it.
We're
Which
not
I would
asking
be like, yeah, you
Big
want
Brother,
your $5?
we're not asking Big Brother to travel the country with us, Big
True.
Brother folks. We're not asking them to physically get into rehearsals and get it choreographed and then having to travel and do a show night almost
Yeah,
every night. We're not
that's
asking
true.
that. And
I
then
mean,
it's
if
like, well,
that's what they're
the
doing,
exposure.
oh,
Yes.
that's ridiculous. Those people should be paid. I thought it was just like someone that showed up in his YouTube video for an hour are
No,
saying
it's
they didn't get paid. They mean like the people that go on tour with him don't get paid? That's ridiculous.
isn't that what it is? That's how I took it.
I thought it was the people in his YouTube videos, like when he does the big YouTube video production and then has dancers, like that they're not getting paid. Which I would also say, by the way, is the same thing for all the drag queens. Like whenever the drag queens have the dancers in their video, those dancers are just getting, quote, exposure.
Everyone
But I
should
mean,
be
look,
paid.
this is just one example.
Debbie Dawn in the YouTube chat says John is correct.
Well, you are correct. But look, I'm not saying there aren't other things where a lot of people aren't saying he's not paying him, and I don't have anything to add to that. All I'm saying is for this one thing, and I'm not defending him, that one might be the thing. Here's the thing that I hate. I hate when somebody's like really a horrible person, and then people focus on the things that give that person an out. Like, don't like Todrick for the real bad thing, like the misogynist things he said about Shayna and blah. Like, don't like him for that. When you go at him and you're like, you didn't pay your dancer, and he knows they got exposure. Millions of people saw them. We already agreed I wasn't paying them, because if I was, I would have been
Exactly.
sued.
It,
Like,
it,
you
it,
give
takes,
him wiggle room.
it takes
Go
two people. It takes one person
yeah.
to say, I'm not paying you. You get exposure. And it takes the person that he's saying it to say, okay, I agree to that. If that's the agreement, then that's the agreement. If you're a dancer and you want to get paid in the next show and say, oh, I have enough exposure, but I'd like to get paid, well, then you should get paid. But if you made that agreement, that's the agreement. So
Right.
I think that's totally fine as far as how Todrick is. But I think to kind of mention it in a catty way was a little
that's
shady.
real.
Right?
And that
That's
is
kinda
shady.
rude.
Because
Like, oh,
100
that's what, by the way, I do this on purpose.
Yeah,
That's
that's the point that makes him shitty. The misogynist things that he says about Shayna makes him shitty. Like, those are the things 100% I agree that make Todrick
But
a
do
shitty
you
person.
think that Todrick was just trying to be kind of catty, because a lot of his stuff was, kind of that bitchy club gay, where we had Carson, who was our best friend gay at a happy hour. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think he was trying to just kind of be funny and it was just all getting taken out of context? Or is he just a shitty person? Like,
Look, I always struggle with this every season, and I always feel like it makes me seem like I'm the one that's defending the shitty people. But all I will say is, I do think that there is part of me that thinks, enough, like, let's say you and I are in the house, right? And I'm trying to get you to vote out, Maximus' mom. So I'm going to be to you, Maximus' mom's a piece of garbage, John. She's the worst. I can't stand her. She's a horrible mother. She's this, she's that. I know all of these and I'm just going to keep beating into your brain the horrible things about this other person so that you don't want to work with her, so that you don't want to be. So I'm not saying it's a good strategy. I'm not saying it's a strategy that makes you look like a good person, and you're stupid if you know the game and you use that strategy. But is it possible that's the strategy? Like, I'm gonna talk shit about these people to keep Misha away from them, to make Misha not want to associate with them. I know Misha doesn't like women. I'm gonna slut shame Shayna so that we can bond over that. everyone's lying if they say they don't gossip about people and they don't,
Right.
like people do that. You're just seeing it on the feeds.
You're just getting caught, but we all have those moments. Like, I'll sit here and watch TV with my spouse and we'll say inappropriate things and we're cracking up. And it's like, it's just some of that's just not for public view. Right? Doesn't make
Yeah.
we're bad, doesn't make sure it doesn't make us anything, but it's just like, it just can be kind of fun. It's inappropriate, and sometimes it's funny to be inappropriate in the privacy of your own home in your own home, right? But you're not in your own home with this kind of thing. And I get it, Misha doesn't seem like a girl's girl necessarily, it just doesn't translate that
Well,
well.
she's
But
not.
and I think maybe that could have been part of his strategy. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if some things were just taken out of context, but what would have been nice is having Todrick explain that, just saying, you know what, guys, I was just being that catty bitch you gave the club, and it
Well,
didn't translate well, and I'm really sorry. And you know what? I totally
and no
messed
one
up.
forgives them. And no one's believing that or forgiving that. So why bother?
But at least he's doing it, because now they're
Yeah.
saying you canceled the interviews, you can't even apologize. You addressed the Ukraine, you addressed your tour dates, and he's being called tone deaf on social media. So at least do that. I mean, will everybody accept it? No. You've already lost the game, but at least address it and get it done and put it in your rear view mirror. You know what I
But
mean?
he's really good with social media, so part of me thinks he's smart where he's like, "You want me to talk about it? Come see me on tour. You want to hear my apology or what I'll do it on my tour date."
Well, on my social media, his tour starts in Seattle. And when I started looking at the venue of where he is performing in Seattle at the Moore Theater, everybody in the comments is like, I'm trying to sell my tickets. I don't want to go. It's horrible. I saw him on Big Brother. Oh my gosh.
Well, do we know that that's for real though? Like we know the crazy Big Brother fans will destroy you everywhere. They'll destroy your app, your website, your
It's gonna,
does it
yeah, yeah, it's true.
I mean, I like this is the thing because I've been on the other side of the being attacked from fans, so it always, regardless of what the person does, I always feel the need to just try and a little bit put it into perspective for people. That being said, there is no defense for the things that he said about Shayna, for the mocking of not paying people, whether he did it or didn't do it. Like, there's still no excuse for that.
Right.
But you also don't need to be like him in order to hit him where it hurts. You just don't watch his videos, don't subscribe, don't share, don't go to his concert. You can get him back in ways like that aren't going to his level of,
Well, I'm someone who didn't do it before.
yeah.
Just gonna do it now.
I liked him. Like, I really did like him before, but yeah, I mean, this was not, I mean, he's done our show twice. So I enjoyed him, but like, like, if you just take the game, like, you just take Todrick's game, his game was very good. But this is also the BB15 argument. You can't just focus on someone's game. You have to look at everything that surrounded it. And unfortunately, while his game was good, well, his game was great unless you factor jury management, then his game was horrible.
What?
And the reason the jury management is horrible is because his personally, or his interactions with people were not great. But the moves that he made happen, great. His personality and his ability to jury manage, horrible. So can we say his game is great? Probably not.
No, I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, he's watched Big Brother. He's a super fan. He got, basically a one-on-one course with the cookout, staying at his house. And, when you think of jury management in a regular season, they're quarantined. They don't get access to all the live feeds. They don't get access to social media. So someone like Todd leaving the house in his exit interview with Julie said, oh my gosh, Todrick is playing the best game. He's the one I'd vote for to win. Now, if he'd been quarantined, He would have had Todrick would have had his vote.
I
So
agree.
I don't
That was
know
weird.
if Todrick knew that they weren't going to be quarantined. I'm sure they did because it'd have to be in his contract. So yeah, it is bad jury management because he didn't count on them not going home. But I also think, and I agree with everyone we've spoken to that it's kind of this bubble and you don't, really realize what's happening and things are going so fast. But, I think he the way he was playing and the way he was talking to the camera, he thought he was fine. He thought
He
everything
did.
was fine. That's what I mean by this kind of bitchy
Well,
queen kind of thing. And it really wasn't until we saw his face when he started seeing the comments. And I mean, he got up off the couch with Misha before that first commercial break of the voting because he
yeah.
just wanted to get off camera. This blindsided him, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think he realized how bad he came across, or he didn't think it was that
Well,
bad. And my thing is it because you were just trying to play it up as a bitchy kind of queen to the cameras, or you just don't give a shit? I don't know.
see, I think that production, this is where I know production is shady, and I've witnessed it firsthand. Production is very good at filling you with delusions of grandeur while you're playing the game. Because you have no information about the outside world. So all the time you're playing, they can tell you, oh, people love you. People love when you're being bitchy. People love when you're being shady. You need to do more shady. Go out. You're going to
That's
make the
funny.
edit.
Oh, that's funny. You should do that in the house. Yeah.
Production definitely works everyone up. And then when the season is over, they bring them in a room and go, okay, so anyway, America hates you. And I know you're going to do interviews, but they heard your racist comments, your misogynistic comments. They didn't really find anything that you said funny. And then the person is like, you told me they loved it. You told me to go out there and be sarcastic. No, that's not what we meant. Anyway, your press is waiting. You gotta go. Bye. Production is shitty to them too. Production
Oh, I believe it. It's
uses,
shitty business.
yeah,
Yeah.
production is shitty to all of them. And look, and again, I really don't mean to make this sound like this is an excuse for anyone. Everyone is responsible for their own actions. I'm just saying it's not always as just black and white. I'm sure he didn't just walk into the house being this way. I am sure he was being gassed up behind the scenes to be super extra. You're the voice of the show, you're the narrator, you know this show, you're narrating the season for us, give us more of this,
People are
you're the
eating
master.
it up. I love your
Yeah.
comments. I love it. Yes, your fashion.
Yeah.
Yes, you're doing it. You're bringing it.
Yeah.
You are bringing it.
Yeah, so I mean, they do that, and again, doesn't make it right or wrong. And I go back to this. I go back to the thing I said from day one. Todrick could have played the same exact game with Carson and Cynthia, and it been a fun season. They could have joked around, done fashion shows, laughed, joked, had parties. They could have kept all the, let's say, good people in and together and made the show super fun while they stayed there. He did not need to go with Misha, draw this line in the sand, get rid of the funny people. Like, he didn't need to do any of that. None of them knew the game. It was like him and Kirkpatrick and probably Shayna were the three people that knew the game. You three could have even stayed together and made it fun. You didn't need to go to Misha. And the smart thing would have been to get Misha out day one. You knew she was going to win everything. Or you use it. I mean,
exactly.
that's smart too.
Or
you use the
even
power.
when you got to the point where she was the only Caucasian person left, like it would have been great if would have gotten rid of her. Like, would have been a great game move,
Yeah.
I think Misha, being a competitor, was also about sportsmanship, so she probably would have never talked to him again. She can't go to HOH room with Carson. She's not going to talk to Todrick again. But if he would have done that, woohoo! That would have been great. I think, you made the comments about the dancers, the cameo, Sheena, those were bad. But, it's like, in the privacy of my own home, I could be bad too. I think the whole thing with Kirkpatrick's kids, when Kirkpatrick was trying to flip the house And Todrick was kind of coming down on him for that. And it's like, look what you did with the whole Sheena story. You were flipping the house too. So you're getting mad at him and bringing in kids when you're doing the
I don't
same
like that.
thing. That's
Yeah.
when I was like, oh, I can't. Now it's kind of bad. It's unforgivable, right? And especially with Kirkpatrick saying this, I'm casting this for my son. Like, yeah, that was when my turning point. I was just like, oh,
Oh, I didn't even realize. So that's why he said I'm casting it for my son, because Todrick made the point
my
about
son
his
would
kid.
be proud of me for casting a vote for Misha, and so that you don't win.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Son's proud of me now.
Yikes. Yeah, they were vicious to him in those votes. And then God bless fucking Cynthia. Like she just does, like, she is always going to be the Cynthia of every show she's on. Just totally wrong, totally not in sync with the rest of the cast, just floating out in space, having no goddamn clue about anything. And could somebody clue her in? Like, Carson, you couldn't have leaned over and just go, do not vote for Todrick.
Right. We saw Todd leaning in. We saw Todd leaning in and rolling eyes and stuff and whispering.
Well, here's the thing. Todd Bridges annoys the shit out of me, too. And don't get me wrong, because I agree that we're saying all the same exact stuff about Todrick. But when Todd went up there and was like, I'm casting my vote, because people shouldn't talk bad about people once they're home. Shut up. You're an adult.
I love Todd Bridges. I thought it was hilarious. I love that they talked about his 33 years of sobriety and how he wanted to kind of mentor Lamar. Like, I love all that stuff. But Todd was funny, even in his interviews, like his background, he had the headset on, like his gamer headset. I was cracking up just what I was looking at. And then, of course, he's being interviewed. I think the toughest one to get through was Lamar. It's like, do you have PTSD? Like, you were all over the place. It's a lot of your
Lamar
interviews.
I mean, I like Lammy, but yeah, I could not do a Lammy.
But Lammy has such sweet energy about him. He's just like he's gigantic baby, right? Like you could just cuddle with him. Like I kind of get it, getting to know him a little bit more in the house, especially having to deal with a lot of death, like from your baby to your mom passing away at such a young age. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And then all of those drugs destroyed all your brain cells, so now you barely can process anything. Yeah, no, that is definitely has a lot to do with that, yeah. Like they say, ignorance is bliss, so when you don't know anything, you can definitely just walk around like, la la la, where's
That's what I'm going to use as my excuse as well, because I don't
the stupidest people are so happy. Like, I just wish I could be actually that stupid, that I could just walk around like, la 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 la, life's great.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm just saying, you know that person in your life. Everyone has that person in their life that are like, oh my god, today's so great, I love it. Well, did you hear about Russia? I love Russia. Russia's great. Yes.
Pierogies. I love pierogies. Oh my God.
I love pierogies. COVID. I'd say no-vid. I didn't get it. I'm gonna go shopping. What? You have bills? What are those? Icky.
Hey, my bill. What are bills?
What are bills? I live with my boyfriend. He pays for everything. Or my girlfriend.
I don't even look at email. What?
What's email? All right, I don't look at email either. But yeah, we all have that person in our life. I just, and why? Why did we have to get 2-hour boring as shit episodes that we did not need to watch, and then the finale just gets rushed through? Just why? And then, I mean, back to Cynthia. How is she not picking up on what's going on based on what, the jury was saying?
She was still confused even in her exit interviews. Oh, child, I was just out of the house and I didn't understand what was happening.
Where's Noelle? Where's Noelle? She's hip with the cool things, and she's why I did this show. I need Noelle.
Well, I thought it would be interesting, and maybe this is why CBS didn't do it, because if they had that moment where the jury could ask questions to the final two, but they were going to be this, why are you such a shitty name calling person? And then having Cynthia hear that, I mean, it could have been unanimous, right? I mean, it pretty much was.
Of
But
course it
I mean,
was.
would that have made a better show than just like, oh, we know everything they're going to ask is going to be crappy. We've heard all of their feedback because they're celebrities, and
Well,
we've had to manage them up into this finale. So let's just get on with the voting. You know what I mean? Like, do we need 2 hours?
yes. Well, I mean, I wanted more time for the jury part. I wanted more time for people to call out Todrick. I basically wanted a
But
Todrick firing squad.
would they call him out, or would they just be like, why did you
Yeah, they
say
would have
these
called him
things
out.
about me? Why would you say these
Yeah.
things?
Yeah, well, that's what I want to see. Why would you say these things about me? That would be way more entertaining than anything that happened this season. Sorry, and
True.
I hate to be Debbie Downer, but as I tweeted out, the best thing about this season was now I have a season to reference when people ask me my least favorite season.
Well, I think too. I mean, Totter could have addressed it on the spot, right? And maybe killed a lot of this
Yeah.
kind of tone deaf, canceled exit interviews. Spotties and now.
I mean, it's never, you can say less, but I am always more for saying more, and I say he should do it. Do the interviews. I mean, God, even
Yeah.
Nicole Franzel, who was, oh God, here I go. People are just going to think that I am like the spokesperson for defending people. But like even Nicole Franzel, who was, accused, or, was written up about as, mocking autistic people and lost all of her stuff. And if you forget, my problem with that was there was other people in the room, men, and none of them took any of the heat for it. It all got put on her. But anyway, and even she stood in that and did her exit interviews and talked to the press and, apologized and da 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 da. So it's like, Todrick, just do it.
Oh, you mean all the stuff with Ian?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying even she did her exit interviews and she lost, a lot, people would argue, from that.
Didn't
She
she
did
lose
it.
all of the endorsements from like her wedding and all of that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah. Which, there's repercussions for things that you do. I don't think it's fair that, nothing happened to Memphis, who was part of it. But, whatever.
But he's a man. Like men have less
Right.
consequences,
That's ridiculous.
Men can screw up and get promoted where a woman could be fired and labeled. I mean,
Yeah.
if anybody's watching Inventing Anna on Netflix,
No.
no, you're not.
No, we're not.
Well, you should be.
We're watching Big Brother. We should just switch and cover Netflix shows from now on. Be much more popular. I bet I wouldn't have to make a glitter shirt for a Netflix show that doesn't goddamn glitter.
Next time I'm just gonna say I'm wearing one. In fact, everything I wear from now on is gonna be like it's covered in glitter.
I wish I had a flashlight. I feel like if I shined
Ooh,
a flashlight on it, it would
where's
look
my
glittery.
phone?
Oh, you're so smart. You are so smart.
Look,
Let's see.
look
Yeah, see, yours is, but mine isn't.
at mine. Ha ha ha.
Oh, there we go. There you go. You can see it on my. Okay, so that's what it is. It's not our fault we don't have stage lights on us. Look at that. Oh, look at how pretty it glitters now. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so right. How is it our fault we don't have stage lighting?
Right?
I should just wear this to the gas station later to get gas.
Wear some hot pants with
With some hot pants and a cowboy hat. Howdy, partner.
like some Ugg boots. Just like, hey.
Zizi's like, I'll take your word for it. It's like, I'll take your word for it that it sparkles. We don't need to see it. I loved it. I also saw when I was mocking your shirt before, people said, oh, I bet John's shirt buttons all the way down.
It does.
Yeah, well, people know me so well. Everyone knows that when I wear shirts on this show, that I never have them button. They always stop right there.
You're
I never
able
button.
to.
I only button. I only button the top and the middle button. I
Oh
never
no.
button my.
I like a complete look.
Sometimes I can't button it. In this one, I can button, but sometimes I can't button them.
See, and even my buttons sparkle.
Yeah, everything on mine sparkles too.
Yeah.
It's a big sparkly sparkle. So, were you surprised about America's favorite player?
No, I mean, I was voting for Sheena. Shayna.
Everybody was. So who gave this to Carson? Do you think? I always feel America's favorite player production gives it to, and our votes are just a suggestion for them. Because again, I will say, if they wanted to make it fair, they could very easily show us the results in real time. So I think production gave it to Carson, hands down, no questions asked, because there's no way Sheena didn't get more votes.
I think those damn drag queens that he works with probably got on their social media and said vote for Carson.
They didn't. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the queens to be all cheering on Carson, and none of them did.
Really?
I mean, Cornbread did from the current season. Cornbread's apparently a Big Brother fan.
And voted out for Carson?
Yeah. Teddy was
doing a
Yeah, Teddy was doing a giveaway, says Courtney. I mean, bless Teddy's heart. Bless her heart. And I mean, all of the celebrities went to Ozza's party in LA. Ozza did like a finale party, and they all are there. Like, you can go on their Instagrams. Carson's there.
Nice.
Chris Kirkpatrick was there. Like, all of the celebrities were at Ozza's. I believe Todrick was there, yes.
With Misha?
I don't know about Misha. I didn't finish looking through all the photos, but it looks like everyone was there. Okay, I lied. It was Chris Kirkpatrick's and Lance Bass's after party.
Yeah.
Sorry, after Oz's party. Yeah, because Lance Bass was there. Okay, I was going to say, that's kind of odd that they would have went there.
I was like, wow, you go, Ozza.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they were talking to Ozza.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Lance Bass will ever play?
Maybe.
If he's smart, he would talk to me before he does, but he's not gonna.
No, but yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't.
I mean, he's friends with Holly in the real world. I mean, he's friends with so many people.
I'd like a Lisa Vanderpump, to be honest.
No, Lisa would never do that. Never, ever, ever would Lisa do
I said
that.
I would like it. I know she wouldn't, but I'd like it.
Well, I want to know what people think. You can leave it in the comments below. Do you think production gave it the America's favorite player to Carson? Who did you want to have it instead? What did you think about Misha winning? Let us know in the comments below wherever you watch this video. So, I mean, I feel like we're both on the same page, John. We're both happy that Misha, I mean, not happy. It's not the one I would have picked, but I don't hate her winning. I don't think she was that problematic, and she won a lot.
I'm still curious that if Cynthia and Misha were sitting there, who would win? I mean, would the celebrities vote for Misha because she had the most wins, right?
Yeah, I think they would have given it to Misha, yes. I don't think anybody would have given it to Cynthia. Because I also think, I am sure that Todrick was like, look, if either one of us are against, I wanted to say Courtney, Cynthia, the thing that we're going to have to do is point out how she did nothing in this game. So I feel like they were prepared for that.
No, absolutely. Do we think Misha was really that shocked that the way the celebrities and probably now social media has responded? Because that's kind of what she's saying in her interviews, right?
I don't think she's really that surprised, no. I don't. What? Is that bad?
No.
Sorry, I don't care. I'm thrilled to Cynthia's off of Bravo. She's off of this show. We never have to have Cynthia ruin another show again. Bye, girl. Stop rooting shows. Goodbye. I'm done. This was your
Oh,
one
Cynthia?
chance.
Cynthia?
Yeah. She had such good potential. I literally was liking her the first 2 weeks and was like, okay, maybe the editing on Bravo is wrong, and I've been totally wrong about your type of personality. And then as the season went on, we found out, nope, we were dead correct.
I mean, I don't know if you've watched the Ultimate Girls Trip, but good God, Cynthia. And then I was like hoping, okay, maybe Big Brother is going to be good.
Yeah.
And just,
No. Womp
she
womp.
just honestly doesn't care. I mean, even that last HOH, it's like, you know, Misha was remembering the dates and stuff or quotes and what people said. And even when they had the thing when they were rolling the ball and which day, what day it happened on and stuff, Cynthia's just not paying attention. She doesn't care.
Nope.
Just, I'm here. I'm going to cook. I'll clean. I don't
Well,
care.
let me tell you what I care about, John, because it's 3 things. Number 1, it's the amazing live feed updaters that we have at BB Live Updaters. They will be updating for all of Big Brother Canada, which
Cheers
starts
to
in...
you.
Cheers to you. It starts next week, everyone. Big Brother Canada starts
Is it
next week.
already?
They've already released the cast, so we know it is not all stars. We know the cast. We know that there's, you know, the mystery of the phone, however this phone is
With
going to.
Yeah, with the question marks.
Whatever is going to come into play with this. We officially are on the press rotation for exit interviews. Of course, John and I will be covering it. So while this is the end of our Celebrity Big Brother content, we're really not going anywhere, because next week starts our Big Brother Canada coverage. So make sure that if you are new here, you are liking, subscribing, following wherever you are watching so that you don't miss any of our shows. Of course, we always appreciate it when you share the shows, put them in a Facebook group, tell a friend, a family member, and of course, you can always tweet us during the shows. Anything that you want. At Comedy Jonah is John. I'm at Reality Recaps. And, you know, there's other fun ways. John does cooking shows in the patron group. I do Twitch games at night. I do hangout shows. You know, we're always here for all of you in various places.
We sure are.
What? Is there something you need to say? I feel like you're unhappy. This is the final moments of this season. We are closing the chapter. I'm just as upset as you are at our shirts.
I'm trying to think of anything else that I kind of want to talk about, but I think I've covered it. Yeah, what I'm hoping with this season happens with this season moving forward is that Todrick, you know, does an interview or does something, and you know, you know, it's awful. It's an awful situation to be in, and especially I think with him thinking I'm going to be so great and so liked in the Big Brother house. And I'm going to start my tour right after that because I'm going to just keep that momentum going, right? But it's the wrong momentum.
I mean, here's the thing. Todrick would probably do our show. I could probably get Todrick to do our show. I just don't know if it's worth it. Nobody is gonna like him. Everyone is just going to attack the show, leave negative comments. Everyone's gonna say that we're horrible people and we're giving him a platform. And it just seems not worth it. I'd rather just move on to Big Brother Canada.
No, absolutely. But I mean, if Todrick needed a safe place, you know, definitely we consider it. I mean, to me, that kind of stuff doesn't really, you know, people are going to say what they want or whatever, but they're watching the show, right? We've had unpopular people on this show before that people started to actually start to like a little bit because they saw them in a different light when they saw them here with us. So, and we also have to remember people are people, and you know what? We make mistakes and we screw up, and you know, I think it's how we recover from it. So I'm going to be super interested on how Todrick recovers.
Well, it looks like he's recovering by canceling his interviews and promoting Russia and his tour. I love me and my blue sparkly shirt. It's so blue and just
do one more
blue. I'm going to go post a photo of it better on my Instagram now. I also did a photo on my Instagram of my ice trees.
Your ice trees?
Yeah, because it rained and then the rain froze around all the
Huh.
branches. So if you go look at my Instagram, all the trees by us look like they're literally dipped in
Ooh.
ice and taken out and put back down. Like it's every branch is in ice.
Ooh.
It's very pretty.
Nice.
It's magical. You should check it out on my Instagram at Reality Recaps Everywhere. Make sure you're following you're there. John and I will be back next week. The premiere of Big Brother Canada is March 2nd. Maybe on a March 1st. I don't even know what that day actually is. Maybe John and I will do a cast assessment show before, but make sure you're following on our social media. We will let you know what we're doing when, but of course we're covering the season. Of course we're having the live feed updaters. I've already talked to PR. We have exit interviews. We're scheduled. We have our Friday time slot, so we will always be able to ask the evicted house guests your guys' questions on Fridays for Big Brother Canada. It's easy to watch on the internet, and we'll see you guys all on the next show. I'll be live on Twitch tonight, or I'll be live on YouNow in a little bit, hanging out with you guys. Final thoughts, John?
Nope. Excited for next week. Celebrity Big Brother's a wrap. See y'all on the flip side.
Bye, everybody!